You have to go in her room. Just don't be loud.
Yeah, go back in my room. Oh no, I need to take off my Bible study thing.
Actually, yeah, no, I didn't even see that entire conversation, so I was like, Dre. I'm talking about, like, I was talking about our conversation.
Oh.
And then you said, and he thinks I'm weird. I'm like,
yeah, he said, you're acting mad weird. No, it's like, you acting mad basic. Yeah. Like, dude, like, but what I wanted to talk to you about was...
But she be tripping.
I forgot.
I don't know. Just keep your love. I should have just said that. Keep your love.
Yeah, but it's like, what did I say that was weird? How was I taking shots? Like,
if you would like someone to get you a key, please ask. But I will no longer be locking the door for you. The kids will also be advised to do the same. Maybe the kids advised to do the same. I don't know.
I didn't take any shots. Look, our 25-year-old has moved in. And he moved in a substantial amount of time. I've already admitted he lives here. He moved in. Shut the door, please.
Sure.
Like, you should have known to shut the door, right? That's situational awareness.
It's okay to shut.
No, you should have shut the door. Kaden doesn't have to be quiet when we shut the door, right? So just read the room and make the best choice for everybody, not just you. Kaden, no. Go back outside and jump and scream like you were. Don't come in the house now that the door is closed. Shut the door, please. Anyway.
And the fact that they yell and scream, and that's all Dre. Like, Kaden coming into the room just being loud and obnoxious, that's because Dre comes in the room and is loud and obnoxious.
Kaden really is what he sees, just exaggerated. And that's why we never picked up on it until Angel brought it to my attention, where I was like, why does he just keep screaming like that? And she was like, because you keep screaming like that. And I was like, it is. And then just watching how his different behaviors manifest, I'm like, that's that. So we have to completely demonstrate something different. We can't tell him to stop being who's only been demonstrated to him. We have to be the change we want to see. Damn. I can't do it by myself. I'm actively changing.
That's why you need to talk to your husband.
He won't talk to me.
No,
he thinks talking at me is talking to me.
That was hilarious.
It's all hilarious. I sent a text to my family group chat because our 25-year-old moved back in October. And I said,
Michael, stop.
It's January, the end of January. So we've had a substantial amount of time. In December, I said to my husband, I was like, go ahead and tell Andre to get a house key, or you can get one made for him. That was in December. I don't know if any of my messages ever actually make it to Andre. Hey, Carby. And so, you know, a couple of family meetings, I'm like, you know, get a house key.
Junior and senior.
Okay. You know, a couple of family meetings, I'm like, Junior, you need to get a house key. Junior, you need to get a house key. And, you know, nothing comes of it. He's still coming in, asking people to lock the doors for him and stuff like that.
Asking to borrow my key.
Asking to borrow other people's key. All these different things. He does not take care of his basic responsibilities. Like, he'll go buy food for everybody, or he'll go, this is what's wrong with our men. He'll go and, you know, yo, I got the money, let's get the kids' passports, stuff like that. But he won't get his own toothpaste. He won't clean up after himself. He leaves little snot rags everywhere, like nigga carrying the Ebola and just
in the car,
leaving trash everywhere in the car. Even after he cleaned the car is still dirty. Like, he completely is absent of other people except in the big areas. And that's what our men do, right? I go to work, I earn the money. Why do I gotta put the toilet seat down? Good, because you live with other people, that's why. Hey, Amber, Nicole, don't wanna leave no name out. How you doing? You know, so it's just like, We're dealing with a whole nother level of selfish over here. We're trying to break a whole nother level of selfishness over here. Because everybody in the house is like, we're not selfish. I was like, you are self-centered. You only think about yourself until
Michael, go.
you think about yourself. But when you're doing for yourself, paying the rent. An example is better than me trying to define it. Paying the rent. Yes, you paid the rent. Why? Because you need a roof over your head. If you didn't pay the rent, you would be homeless too. So are you really looking out for us?
Or more, say, factoring in his children, Kaden and Michael.
His kids, yeah. So
yeah, I wouldn't say he does it for Angel and I.
No, he does it for me. And now he may only be doing it for Caden and Michael, but initially he looked out for you and Angel because of me.
But it was falsified.
Well, it was real for him in the way that he knew to be real at the time, but now we understand that what has been sold to us as real for decades and decades and decades. This is why our families are so fractured. It's all fake love. It's all fake love. All of it. You are probably existing right now in your house in fake love. Get down. I don't even understand why the table is there, my friend. I can't yell at the kids on live because they cut my live, so I have to.
So stop yelling.
I just elevated my voice, but that counts on live.
I'm just saying, stop yelling then.
I'm experiencing it now. It's crazy when you wake up to the fake love and there's still illusion to the fact that what they're doing is love. This is not love. This is not love. I called my husband fake a couple of days ago, and he has been now acting fake towards me since I did it, like talking to me sideways. This is what it does, you know. I was just like, no.
Bye. Kaden, go.
Why would you ever talk to me this way? He's not talking to me like, everybody got their barometer, right? I wish this would. That's my barometer. But still, what is that?
75%.
Yeah, you know, he talking to me sideways, like he knows how far he can push me before he gets mushed in the face. And I never mushed him in the face, so he ain't ever crossed that line. And so, you know, he's in here tripping, trying to force an apology out of me. I ain't apologizing because you are fake. This man asked me yesterday if I'm having an affair. Like, I done tapped into your insecurity so deeply that a woman who has shown you no kinks in her armor for the 13 years you've known me, you ain't ever seen me do nothing shady to nobody, not even you. I'm looking out for your ass even when I don't like your ass. Your fucking baby mama, when her son died, I'm the one that planned his funeral. Not you. Not her. This bitch. So you want to sit here and say,
you want to cry?
Yes. I'm working through trauma.
No, you're
Get
good,
off
but
me.
That's why you need to stop letting him do this to you. Because honestly, he's going to keep wasting your time.
I'm done. She's over there vying for the divorce.
I've been since you said.
Yeah.
I was like,
should we get a divorce? No.
I was like, a D word?
Yeah, so, you know, it's just like,
unfortunately.
Don't come for me. Don't come for me. Don't come for me. Don't ever fucking come for me because I know who I am. And the thing is, Bailey over here tripping, Carby laughing at you.
Hey, I've been here along the ride though. Like, yeah, I didn't really have a choice in your union. It was just, well, you had this nice guy around and there's no reason to treat him badly. And on top of that, the opposing side is treating you badly. So it's just like, eyes are on me. Like, I didn't have like an active reason to be like, I don't like him. It's just,
something ain't sitting right?
well, sometimes. I mean, the whole, like, when you would, like, bring him into the time that I would be punished and stuff to give him something to have with me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, dude.
I get it. Like, I was trying to force him into a dad role, but he didn't know how to be a dad. Has he ever been a dad? Like, no shots taken. Has he ever been a dad? Well, he did, because she left completely, so he was a single father.
I mean, he's had...
Has he raised children?
He's had kids be self-sufficient. That's why he can claim and say, well, kids are supposed to do this. Kids, like...
And the one that wasn't self-sufficient, nobody was raising him.
Yeah.
Damn.
The last one.
Damn.
Let them go loose too. That's
They
unfortunate.
parents, you can't get so caught up on your first and maybe your second child, because that second one ain't self-sufficient. Then
that's daddy's little girl. So on top of that, she was
But
able to work the situation.
but no,
in her favor.
I'm thinking about they are hurting. They are hurting.
But
And they're hurting in ways they don't want us to help. But
because we're not we, but like the family of a whole was the person that caused their trauma.
yeah. And we can help them. I know therapy says your trauma causer can't help you heal the trauma. But I'm your trauma causer. Have I helped you heal your trauma? I've given you the skills. If you're looking for me to help you heal the trauma, I am giving you the skills to heal your trauma. And then you do that independently of me, and you have to be willing to heal the trauma.
I just don't think you're triggered. Like, you don't. I just feel like in my dynamic with you, you had to be there, no matter good or bad. Like, now you're here, good or bad.
Bailey said she wasn't saying divorce before, so what he do to change his image in her eyes? Oh,
That's a good question.
She said that's a good question. My first one a little more dependent on me than the second one. Yeah, but we can't get caught up in one is so self-sufficient, so we just automatically assume the next one is. And with the next one is. We can't get caught up in the behaviors of one and transfer that into the next. Because if the first one is self-sufficient like Bailey is, that is why Angel went overlooked for so long. Because I just was like, well, this is the level of excellence this Poom Poom produces. So I just expected all the rest of them to be like, just right out the gate. And some of them need a little bit more hand-holding than the other. And even the oldest one is severely damaged.
Let's see, to answer that question, because they asked what like kind of changed my perspective.
Me too. You gotta assist all of them. Yeah, what changed your perspective towards him?
I don't know. Well, I just feel like with that whole argument we had
Recently?
Yeah, but even on top of that, I can't say that was like the only thing. I feel like maybe
because we've been pushing towards this.
Broke,
okay, I
can
can see that.
Like he's not really reliable. Like, you say you're gonna help me, but it gets pushed to next weekend. Now my life is inconvenienced, but I'm not allowed to say anything. So it's like, okay, I can't deal with you in this way anymore. And you're not the so-called person that's gonna take care of me like you say you are.
So again, when it was easy to show up for you, he showed up. It's easy to show up to recitals and stuff.
But even then, I don't know.
It's not easy to stop what you're doing to go fix a car and do some shit you don't want to do. Do some stuff you don't want to do.
And on top of that, it was always like smart remarks after having to get the car fixed. Like, at first it was the brakes. So it's like, oh yeah, you're just constant demeaning, like, oh, you're irresponsible, like, okay.
Yeah, too many negative feedback points. Too many negative feedback points. You can't have too many negative feedback points. It has to be a balance. Like, and it's not. This is what I told Angel. I was like, it's critiquing, not criticism. You can critique,
but
don't criticize.
He's criticizing.
Yeah.
Like, he's been a person that criticizes instead of critiquing. And it's not a conversation. It's just, like you said, talking at, and that's everything. So like when Senior would be like, well, I told you, like, yeah, you talked at me, but you didn't tell me how, why, and what, like, how this applies to this and what reason you're saying it. You're just talking at me in the midst of the situation. Like, it already started. Like, the situation's I'm already here. And you're telling me what I should have did before. Like,
yeah, but
there's always next time.
There's foresight or whatever. Next time we know how to handle this. But he doesn't know how to play it out. So he only knows how to tell you how not to do things. He doesn't know how to tell you how to navigate it once you're in it. Because when he navigated, the difference between me is I've always been the observer in my life, which means there's always been a version of me that is like over here chilling, watching me go through life. Mm-hmm. And so I know why I do the things I do, who, what, when, where, why, and how. I know all of those things about myself every given second of the day because I'm analyzing myself all the time. And that's what I'm teaching here in this content. If you're not familiar, get familiar. And so I can tell you, you shouldn't have did that. But I could also tell you all the different plays. You know what I'm saying? And most people don't have that capacity. And so he's only going to tell you his perspective, which is the perspective of, depending on what the infraction was, he's not even going to talk to you about it.
Exactly.
Because it's not something you talk to kids about.
And how long has he had that perspective on me up until now? Now that I'm in these situations that he doesn't approve of, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I didn't know that you truly cared about what I was doing. Like, you just say that, I don't know. I just feel like he just tried to pull the dad card at the last second. It's like, dude.
See, and so it's difficult for me because I understand his limitations as a 70s born black man in America. I understand his limitations. I just overcame the limitations of being an 80s born black woman in America. So I understand. And if we can stop romanticizing this beautiful moment, which it is, we can also acknowledge where I came from, which was where Dre is at. And so now I can stand on both sides where I can hold compassion.
And they don't see that. They just see you as being an enabler to horrible things, like the whole having Makari in my room.
Yeah.
Like, how Junior was trying to say, I wouldn't have done that and this and that. Like.
Yeah. I understand they're coming from a judgmental space, but that doesn't leave me to move from a judgmental space.
Michael.
And so.
No.
What we were talking about, obviously, family business. Thank you for the love, y'all. But Junior's been living here, doesn't have a house key. I told him, Bailey sent me a text saying now he's asking me to lock the door for him again. And Bailey has been coming to me. So
you told Kaden. Okay, lock the door for me.
So the one that we don't want locking and unlocking the door is the one who does all the locking and locking for everybody. So we need to correct that. Yeah, because he's the easiest to maneuver.
That's what I'm saying. That's why he takes the remote. That's why he does this. That's why he does that.
So Bailey texted me, and I was just like, okay, this needs to stop. Because right now we are in the midst of breaking the fake love in our home. We're not doing fake love anymore. And so, and it's not an energy, but I have shut down so they don't have, why didn't hubby get him a key?
Because he's a procrastinator.
Because he's a procrastinator. I don't know.
Because basically,
why did the 25-year-old get him a key? Why didn't his father get him a key? And then when I finally say something about it, why does it turn in, somebody could have got me a key? How come you didn't ask for a key? If you needed somebody else to do it, they're just perpetual victims, and it eats my soul.
Because about a week and a half ago, he's knocking on my window at 5 a.m.
Yeah, and it's just like crazy town, because the reason why I got on here, because I wanted to explain that people that are used to being abused only respond to abuse. Dre was supposed to get him a key. I agree. People who are used to abuse only respond to abuse. And what that means is, I told Dre, ask Dre, why don't you get him a key? Does he live here now? Yeah. I think it's time for him to get a key. So either you can get him a key or you can tell him to get a key. This is in December. We're at the end of January. 2 family meetings, I know for certain I myself have said, go get yourself a key. You can take any of our key. I even gave him the steps. So first it started from me waiting and silently to see what's going to happen. Then it went to me planting a seed in Dre saying, hey, go tell your son. And then it turned into me saying, these are the steps to you getting a key. Get one of our keys. See, I have been walking this forward. Get one of our keys and go get a key made. Now it has turned into, if you need somebody to get you a key, get your key made. And since we're in the energy of we're not doing this fake anymore, I'm not opening the door for you, and neither are the kids. So unless your father's home, you're not gaining access to this house. And so then this big argument starts happening.
Not to mention, I don't know. He says, like, it wasn't an argument until he says, why are you being weird, though? Basically, he's saying you're going to lock me out if he doesn't get it today. I don't even have access to a key to get one. Y'all could have helped get one as well. But to lock me out doesn't help none when the only time I'm gone is with the car, so you're gonna be hurting everybody else doing that. Teamwork. That was his, like, I hate how Dre just be like, oh, y'all arguing. Like,
oh, wow.
Like,
laugh emoji.
Like, he started it.
Yeah, I didn't. All I said was get a key. Nobody's opening the door for you.
And he even said, okay, well, hopefully he does it today.
Which means so you can get access to the house. All of those are implied, of course. But at the end of the day, anytime he has a rebuttal, if I come to you and say, yo, you need to get a key, we're not opening the door for you anymore, the only response is, okay. Right? What is there to say? For him to say anything back to me is being argumentative.
You can't just threaten people.
That's not a threat. That's a fact. That's just like, hey.
Dre, like, I'm saying to nip that all in the bud. You can ask someone without...
Bye. Bye, Mom.
Without what?
I did bye, Mom.
Bye, Hayden.
What?
Be quiet and go in the room.
Say be quiet, that means you be quiet. We know you're leaving. We know you're coming. We see you. We hear you. But the fact is that you shouldn't be talking at all. And we're not going to say hi every single time you come through because that's making noise.
Nice redirection, Bailey.
I'm trying to. I just don't like that. He's like, hi every single time. It's like, dude.
But no, I was going to stop you, which I typically do, but I just caught on to what you were doing. Because if the standard practice is catch it while it's happening so you can correct it, that's what you were just doing. I was about to be like, Bailey, now you taking more time from what we doing to scold him, but I'm like, no, you caught it while it was happening and you were redirecting it. So you're actually you're doing it. So I'm like, yay, yay, Hercules.
Right? Aw, they used to tell me that at work. Well, not that work, but.
And so, yeah. And they're just like, well, that's messed up. You're not going to open the door. You're going to lock me out the house. And I was like, well, no, I'm not locking you out the house. I'm locking the door. Isn't the door supposed to be locked? I'm not locking the door with the intentions to lock you out the house. I'm walking by the front door, seeing that it's unlocked, and I'm locking the door. But they don't understand that logic. They are being the victim and just looking to be, remember, this is the stuff we talked about early on last year, Carby. They're looking to be offended by me. So because they're looking to be offended by me, they're hearing me say, I'm locking you out the house. No, I'm locking the door.
And I'm not sending my kids to do your bill.
And I'm not.
I agree.
Bid.
There you go.
Bidding.
Yeah,
the kids aren't going to do your bidding anymore. So you're going to have to man up. 25-year-old.
25. And not to mention, he wants to talk down on me being 19. You're only 6 years older than me.
Not to mention, he wants to talk
spots.
about you being 19, but the 19-year-old has a house key. Like, let's go. Who's showing more responsibility?
Not to mention, the 19-year-old has their own house. Like,
right?
Like, talking down on 19-year-olds, but 19-year-olds can seem to get it together, too.
Carby, we're here, sis.
And I just told him to just speak on himself. That's why I was like, we're on a business plan.
Yeah, see, at the end of the day, why he even brought you into the conversation I was like, were you looking for? Oh, it's because I called him fake.
Oh yeah.
I called him. I said, I'm not doing this fake love stuff anymore.
And he was like, just.
And he was like, you didn't say fake until you heard the 18-year-old, and the fact that you were listening to an 18-year-old, that ain't gonna get you no result. And I was like, the fact that you think I'm sitting here talking to an 18-year-old, I am talking to my reflection. I have trained and programmed Bailey to think like me, which means when I sit and talk to her, I'm talking to myself.
He says, you the only person saying fake, but then contradicts it and says, only said that after Bailey said it. So, which one is it? Did you come
Am I the only one?
Yeah. Or
okay.
Is it Bailey? Like,
who's calling who fake?
Right.
That's like Dre's post that said, yes, I'm being petty. And I'm still giving relationship advice. Oh, that's when he posted that thing. He was like, man, I'm under the understanding. You know who those people are, though?
Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah. You remember when he said, I'm coming to the realization that things aren't as they seem. And I said, could it be that they're fake? Like, we saying the same shit. Like, come out the dark. Come out the dark. Stop getting hung up on the language used and understand that you're playing yourself. And when you stop playing yourself, you can come into this fucking goodness, because I'm done with the fake love. You can pretend you're cool with me if you want to, but I know you're not, because the way that you speak to me. I know that you're not, because the way that you talk about my child, I know that you're not. And I know that I'm not with your kids, but I can't get close to your kids because they won't let me in. Because they're fake loving it. So everybody's in this fake love stuff, and I'm done. So, you know.
Like, because what it's going to turn to is.
Exactly.
What did they say?
25 could get. Yo, sit down! 25 can get a copy of their own key. It's not like they're angel's age or something.
Right? It's the fact of the matter that he doesn't want to solve your issue out of spite.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do what she says because she's not carrying me along the way. She's not doing what I want her to do, so I'm just going to keep inconveniencing her and doing what she doesn't like.
Yeah, so, like, this is so petty. This is what I used to do to my teachers. Like, I'm not going to do your schoolwork because I don't like you. Bitch, you're the one failing. It's not hurting my feelings. So it's like, I'm not going to get a key because she asked me to get a key. And this is Rage Against Lonnie energy, even though they want to pretend like there's no energy. Like, the dumbery of it all is just... Psh. And so he goes and he's just saying that I'm being attacking in my language. And I was like, no, I'm being very clear and concise because I'm not giving you any more of my energy. So I'm very cognizant of the language that I'm using. You just don't like that I'm being a direct communicator and I'm not putting a little on it. I'm not babying your ass. Your mama should have wiped your ass, and if she failed to do so, I'm not coming in at the age of 25 and wiping and coddling your ass.
Get your girlfriend.
Yes, go get that bitch who pretended the entire relationship to wipe your ass. But I'm not. Get a fucking key. And he did not hear me say get a key until I said, I'm not opening the door for you. I said, I'm not opening the door. He heard I'm locking you out. And when I said people who are used to abuse don't hear nothing but abusive language, when I said get a key, he did nothing. When I said get a key, he did nothing. When I said I'm not opening the door anymore, he was like, fine, I'll go get a key. He's not used to the love language. He's used to abusive language. And my husband is used to abusive language. I can stop talking. I can say it lovingly. He doesn't listen until I start cussing him out. And I'm done cussing his ass out. I'm done being in the system of abuse. And then because I am abusive to him with my language, he now has a reason to resent me. When the truth is,
Which on top of that,
I took away the reason to resent me. And now he's mad at me because I took away the reason to resent me. Because now he's got to look at himself.
But on top of that, he thinks he's not abusive, which is so weird.
Exactly. So now that
I'm to say this,
I know.
Like,
so what?
I'm not abusive. I'm not doing destructive behaviors. But literally,
I know we're all waking up to it. But the thing is, like I said, I always go back to I am an 80s baby
Yeah, but you can't use that excuse.
It's not an excuse.
It's
It
not
is
an
my
excuse.
history. It is my background. And I look, you had to pull yourself up from this deficit. I'm pulling myself up from this deficit.
I'm not saying you're using it
And
as
so
an
is
excuse,
Dre.
but whenever you bring it up, it seems like a counteractive to you. Like whenever I fall short, just remember this about me. Like
Whenever, it's not fall short, it's whenever I manifest a behavior that does not align with your expectations based on your 18 years on this earth. Know that I've been on this earth for 42 years.
Right.
And I got a lot of I got to overcome to be consistent. So when you're looking at people from my generation, you got to give us some sort of whatever, just like I got to give my dad some sort of whatever. I'm not looking for my dad or anyone in his generation to ever do any healing, to take atonement and accountability for anything they did. Why? Because it may not even be possible for them. What we are talking about is an impossibility to my dad's generation.
makes sense why you would run to him every single time I messed up. Anybody.
And I'd be mad.
Right? Why can't you get right? And you're like, you got everything. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's just nothing.
Yeah, because
There's
I'm
no
like,
excuse.
because I'm like, look, I'm doing everything for this kid, and she's still acting up when I thought the reason why I acted up is because I didn't have. No, I wasn't raised, and so I was acting up, trying to find myself. You know, when acting up is your kid doing things that are outside of what you want them to do. That's all acting up is. It's really them trying to find themselves. And if someone was around to allow me the space to find myself, if someone was around to teach me how to find myself, it would have been I wouldn't have been a bad kid. You know what I'm saying? But nobody supported me. I knew enough to try to do something. And so with the little bit of the stuff that I did, I was just like, and she's still acting up. I didn't know the formula was to actually, I raised you, but I also did everything else.
I don't know. I just feel like it was kind of hard going between what my mom wants and what everyone else is doing and what I want to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Not all the time, because, some choices were self-motivated, but...
And so I just think it's important for you to take into consideration where we come from. And we'll never know Dre's real story. Because until he opens up to the space where he's comfortable with himself, we may never know his whole truth. But know that his deficit is what his deficit is. And your deficit is just dealing with me.
But I feel like I'm going about it right. Like the whole just distancing myself. Because you know how you just told me to just go be a little girl and stuff. And it's like, okay.
And I'm not saying you're wrong with distancing yourself. I'm saying also add compassion. Just have some compassion. You don't know what that man's been through. You don't know what I've been through. That's why I'm inconsistent. But that's where the compassion.
But there's no compassion on my end either, because all of the things that's happened, it's just been excused because he's an adult and I'm a child.
Well, again, you don't hold your growth back on someone else's potential. This is your growth. So whether he is able to express compassion...
I feel that I should give compassion to a person who I feel doesn't deserve my compassion.
Compassion doesn't need to manifest in any type of activity. Compassion is just a space of, I get it. I get it. And move on. You know what I'm saying? I have compassion for Junior. I got compassion for him. He raised himself. And he raised himself through books.
But they don't even want... okay.
And then the abuse that he observed and was a party to. Like, I got compassion for him. No one raised him. And so when I came into the kids' lives and I had my version of raising it, right or wrong, I had a version of raising. At least I raised kids. You wouldn't be where you're at if I just let you like they were left. So I had a version of raising.
That's the next thing I'll be saying. Thanks for giving me ammo for the next argument.
No.
I'll say what you want.
Right?
'Cause I'm
I used
emotionally
to, right? Oh, the emotionally unstable 19-year-old. I used to wish, I was like, man, Bailey, I wish I could jump in your body and just eat their asses alive for a second. But,
Go.
I don't remember what I was talking about. But you just gotta,
So you got compassion for Dre because he came from the civilians.
yeah, compassion doesn't mean that you have to treat anyone any type of way. It's more for your inner space. It's the same energy as forgiveness. It's not for them, it's for you, so that you can move in a space of energy, of understanding, and actually just become the observer and see how you can grow from this. Because once you're growing from, okay, so here's your growth potential. When you are holding people accountable and you're just like detached, you're like, fuck it, I don't care. I don't care what your background is. You're supposed to be like this. So your growth potential is only as high as this because you're not willing to see any other perspective except for the one that you have chosen for this. So you can learn from this, but you have put a cap on your potential. Now, God is love, which means you must always lead with love no matter what the situation is. I'm not saying I do it. I know knowing and application, two different things. So God is love, and you want to see all things through God's love. Now, not the love that's being...
Stop throwing stuff in your
Please
pocket.
stop.
You can't yell. You have to go tell
Oh,
them.
well, I'm in the midst of it. I'm giving game. Let me give my game. You go tell him.
No.
Help me multiply
Mom.
myself.
They don't listen, but they need their mom to tell them.
Okay, well, let me finish this. So God is love. And I was going to say, not the love I see in this Exodus. I read the Bible every day at noon. Mountain Standard Time. You should check me out. Time's going to fluctuate because I got things to do during the day. But, you know, God is love. So if you can take the cap off of the I'm holding someone accountable and have some compassion, now you can also open up your growth potential to, okay, this angle, and this angle, and this angle, which is what we're doing now. We're looking at it from different angles, and we're analyzing it. And once we're done, F them, us against them energy, we can actually look at it from the energy of, okay, they're both hurt little boys that nobody raised. And how do you respond to that?
I don't even respond to that. That's them. Suffer in silence.
I said, hurt on something. Make sure all y'all kids don't grow. Y'all look, this can't be us or see us. Cut it out. You understand? Cut it out.
West side till we die. Motherfucker, make sure all y'all kids don't grow. See us?
Yes.
I just feel like from the standpoint that they're taking, because it's not a compassion. I just feel like the way that they're coming at me is coming from a place of artificial. Because like,
It is.
okay, we have this argument. Andre capitalizes on the point to go talk to you about other people instead of you being the issue. Talks this, and that. A couple weeks later, she's emotionally unstable. Like, now you're trying to like flip the script and you're not